We are live.
All right. Thank you so much, Sam. Good evening, everyone. This is a call to order. Sorry, lost my agenda again. This is a call to order for the special meeting of the Bridgeport Board of Education held on Thursday, July 6, 2023. Right now, it is 6:39. We're a little late, but there we're going to go straight into let me acknowledge the board members that are here. We have Mr. Benahan, Miss Casimir, Mr. Robert Traber, Mr. Sokolovic, Mr. Macaron. Yep, I believe that's everyone that's here, which gives us a quorum. And then we have all of our staff as well. The first item on the agenda is discussion and possible approval of pages to Pedagogy PD to support literacy. And this is Dr. Jenkins.
Good evening. May I share my screen to support the presentation?
Miss Arlene? I'm not sure who. Yeah, Miss Arlene will have it. Okay.
This evening, I'm starting with the presentation of the pages to pedagogy consultation services. However, this PowerPoint contains the information for all three agenda items. So I summarized the presentation as a presentation of literacy services. So the first item you had mentioned, Ms. Brown, is the discussion and possible approval of pages to pedagogy professional development for grades 3 through 12.
Okay. So before you start, just let me know when you've wrapped up that specific one so that we can take a vote on it before pursuing the next one.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
So the purpose of the pages to pedagogy consultation service is to strengthen our Tier 1 instruction, literacy instruction, by focusing on the development and implementation of challenging tasks. These are also grade level tasks with professional development on close reading in grades 3 through 12. The quote that I shared with you, this is a summary of the quote, the last page of the quote on the screen. So the total cost for the consultation services from pages to pedagogy would be $154,298.50. This includes professional development for 5 days for grades, primarily grades 7 through 12 for professional development, with the focus on social studies and English language arts. 17 days of consultation services in which the consultant would work with classroom teachers and administrators to visit classrooms and develop performance writing tasks and provide differentiated support for students receiving special education and ESL services, 17 days, and on-site coaching for classroom teachers and administrators and to support improvement planning. This consultation service does come with materials, so there's a material line item. The average cost per day is a total of $4,000, which is on the last page of the proposal packet that I shared. This consultant has worked with us over the last 10 years, and she provided a summary of the background of working with the district over the last year in previous deliverables. In consultation with our CFO, Marlene Siegel, the funding source for this service would be the Title IV grant. The topics in which this falls under are rounded educational opportunities in teaching literacy through social studies.
Thank you. At this moment, I'll open it up the floor for questions. I'm going to go off based off of what I see on my screen. My first person is Mr. Sokolovic. Do you have any questions concerning this agenda item?
Yes, as far as the professional development, how many staff members will be able to take advantage of this?
I want to say about 170. There are about 40 middle school ELA teachers, 40 social studies middle school, that's 80, about 55 ELA high school, 135, 55, so 190.
Okay, and you said we've been using this provider in the past as well?
Yes, we have.
Is it similar in price or the escalation of price?
The price escalation has been $500 additional for sessions. The original price has been, $250. The previous price was $3,750.
Thank you.
Mr. Kolovic, I just wanted to say I underestimated because I didn't include special education teachers or ESL teachers. But with ELA and social studies, 190, she has already worked with 190 teachers, and we would be expanding to include special education and ESL teachers.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Casimir?
Okay, just so I understand, Dr. Jenkins, this is for special education, ELL students, and students that have fallen behind. Is that right?
This is actually for students to make sure we're improving the quality of their basic core instruction. So it's not like an intervention. So teachers will receive professional development on improving the quality of the assignments we put in front of children. Last year, we did some pretty good work in middle school, I would say, in developing assignments to elevate the quality of not just reading, but writing instruction. So Dr. Bailey, whose company is From Pages to Pedagogy, she worked with teachers to design the assignments and implement the assignments in middle school. We will be expanding to high school next year. And I believe the proposal mentioned working with grades 3, 4, 5, and 6, because at one point the board had asked me, not the current board, but previous board asked for the performance of students on writing samples. So this year I shared with you middle school performance. Next year, I should be able to share with you grades 7 through 12, with my fingers crossed that I will be able to launch the development of writing assignments in grades 3, 4, 5, and 6 under social studies. So I hope to have data for you on students' writing performance across grades 3 through 12 as a result of if this proposal is approved.
Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Benahan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Hi, Dr. Jenkins. I know you didn't answer me about the special need, and very glad that in this question, this is going to be different language for the people that understand only English.
Last year in middle school, the assignments we developed, they were translated into Spanish prompts. We would need to expand to include Portuguese, but last year they were translated to give students access, especially students who speak and write in their first language. So that definitely will be taken into consideration.
Thank you. And can you explain me why they didn't do it? Why this year it was not high school? Why we have to wait for the next year? Just curious.
Mr. Benahan, we did launch some work with high school last year, but
Okay.
not with social studies. So Pages to Pedagogy did work with ELA. So we're expanding to include English language arts and social studies, and not just PD, not just like a workshop, but making sure we're going into the schools to provide support as well. So that's when I say expansion. Last year, the support only occurred in the schools in middle school. This year, there'll be more support for the high school. So that's why I mentioned it as an expansion.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Jenkins. No more questions, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Traber?
Okay, so how does grades 3, 4, and 5 come into play?
So grades 3, 4, 5, and 6, Dr. Bailey, it's her company, Pages to Pedagogy, actually did some work with our teachers in grades 3, 4, 5, and 6 on developing like a curriculum outline for social studies. So they have the content, but rather than ask teachers to randomly choose an assignment for writing, we want to elevate social studies learning in elementary school. So the writing assignment for grades 3, 4, 5, and 6 will be social studies based. So that's how it comes into play. So she's going to work with a group of teachers to develop a common assignment that all children in grades 3, 4, 5, and 6 will complete. And I will get some baseline data for how students express themselves in writing.
The random ELA assignment.
Not random, specifically.
I mean, the ELA assignment, though, it'll be a writing assignment for language arts.
Right, but based on social studies content.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Macaron, do you have any questions? I know I just saw you. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Hi, I don't have any questions. I'm just very excited about this program. Thank you.
Thank you. And then let the record reflect Mr. Gellin and Ms. Baptiste Perez is online. Ms. Baptiste Perez, any comments or questions concerning this agenda item? Ms. Baptiste Perez? And one more time, Ms. Baptiste Perez. Okay, Mr. Gellin, any comments or questions on this item?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Question, what does the support look like?
The support from the consultant?
The consultant, right? So if the teachers need support, is it, as needed? Is it scheduled support? What a bit more information on the, how is this pedagogy going to supporting our teachers?
So, firstly, they would get standard professional development on close reading and the development of what we call high quality tasks that are grade level aligned. So more of a workshop setting. Then consultation revolves around working with small groups of teachers to build model assignments that can be used in the classroom. Some of those model assignments would be built after school and the teachers would be stipend. Some assignments can be developed in school. So Dr. Bailey will go into the high school and teachers will have an opportunity during their common planning time to meet with her to get feedback on their work and to have a conversation about providing students with the types of questions that often are reflected on, say, a PSAT, SAT, and the types of question that gives them deeper learning around text. And then in regards to visiting classrooms and coaching, by invitation, coaching opportunities would be arranged where she would go in the classroom, interact with teachers and students to provide feedback on the learning that's occurring for the adult and the child.
Now, the workshops, are they mandatory for the teachers, or are some teachers selected and some aren't?
So the workshops are an expectation for all teachers. The first two workshops would occur on August 22nd, which would be the middle school ELA teachers and the high school ELA teachers with special education teachers and ESL teachers in the room. The second large professional development session would be on August 23rd, and it would be for middle school social studies teachers and high school social studies teachers. The workshop on the 23rd for social studies, the social studies teachers haven't had as much support, so it really is a workshop focused on bringing them into introducing to all of them common knowledge around what we call the C3 social studies framework, college and career readiness framework for social studies. So I look forward to that workshop. During the year, there are district based professional learning sessions. And so 3 of those sessions would be allocated most likely to the social studies teachers, maybe 1 to ELA, but right now I'm leaning towards 3 for social studies. Social studies is a unique content area because in high school, it's not just social studies. Each grade level has specific content, like 9th grade is world history, 10th grade civics, 11th grade US history. We have the African American and Latin American studies courses. So providing additional support to the social studies teachers because they haven't had that support in a while, Mr. Gillen, due to the fact that they do not have a director. So the majority of this work would be around supporting social studies teachers in developing students' literacy skills as well.
Now, thank you. After the workshop is completed and you did sessions throughout the year, what assessment tools are we using to determine if the items that were reviewed, was positive or was successful, if you will, for the teachers? Are we assessing the teachers after the workshop? Is it a self-assessment? Is it how are we going about that? Are we relying on the grades, writing to improve this year versus looking at trends? Just want to give some more details about how we go about assessing the progress, the success of this consulting group.
Normally, professional development is assessed through a model by a professor named Thomas Guskey. He has 5 layers of professional development. Layer 1 is usually through survey, where you ask teachers about their initial perceptions of a workshop. And then in that same survey, we ask about the quality of the content, the involvement of participants, are they motivated to take the work and implement it. So there's like a standard survey that's used to garner feedback from teachers. So the survey would assess their initial perceptions and the level of knowledge they may have gotten from the session. So levels 1 and 2. Level 3 in Thomas Guskey's model of professional development is organizational supports at the building level. So that's why building in some on-site coaching opportunities, building in consultation where teachers can get additional support. That would also be in coordination with the building leader. The fourth level of measuring the effectiveness of professional development would be in collaboration with school leaders. Asking school leaders to observe in the classrooms, students' engagement and teacher instruction, which is, pedagogy, the name of the company. So when we're observing, we are observing for, say, close reading, evidence-based writing, discussions in the classroom, and high-quality questioning. Those are shared principles for instruction that would be expanded upon in middle school and high school more explicitly this year. And Mr. Gellin, the fifth way, using Thomas Guskey's model for professional development, would be looking at student learning. And so students in middle school will submit 3 writing assignments this year, I hope, if you approve one of the items on the agenda. And students in high school will submit 2 writing assignments. The children in semester 1 will get 3 in. The children in semester 2 will get 2 in. Basically, and those writing assignments, if approved, would be scored by the company Marco Learning. So that Thomas Guskey, if you like, I can send you a handout or send Ms. Perrin a handout to share with you if you wanted to see that model for professional development that's used to measure the effectiveness from the stakeholder to how we support our teachers at the building level to looking at the level of effectiveness with children.
Second, yes, okay, thank you for that. Just one additional follow-up. Like you stated, we don't have a director for the social studies, so the responsibility lies with the building leadership. With this data being collected, would it be, pedagogy collecting the data and you'll be reporting out to us? Is it is it the responsibility of the building leader? What's the frequency of data sharing? That's number one. Who will be collecting the data to share with us? And last question, what do you consider a success? How would you measure success with this program?
The frequency of data collection is for middle school 3 times a year, fall, winter, and spring. And in high school, currently the schedule is for the first writing sample to be collected by September 30th. The second writing sample, I believe, I'm just trying to keep my notes open. I believe it's by November 30th, because I have a timeline. Oh, let me think. When did I meet with Dr. Graff? I apologize, but I know middle school, September 30th is the first one. I want to say that the second one is November 30th, and the third one may be March 30th for high school, Mr. Gellin. And to measure success, I guess it's multiple layered. So one, I do want the teachers to feel supported in their instruction with children. So that's why getting their feedback on the quality of the professional development and support is important. Number 2, partnering with school leaders to implement a culture for learning among the adults, making sure the leaders are in collaboration with the district, building reciprocal accountability around the work. And when I use the word accountability, I mean ownership. So it's not just my work, it's our work. So they see it as their work. So partnering with the school leaders. 3, engaging school leaders in classroom and observations around those shared principles I mentioned, and communicating those shared principles for instruction, close reading, collaborative discussions, high quality questions, evidence-based learning. And then last but not least, with student data, we want to see growth across time, growth in students' ability to communicate the statement of purpose for their writing, growth in organization, growth in elaboration, growth in language use and conventions. But we also want to see, like, in talking to some students, because we won't be able to talk to all students, but we will be able to talk to some students in any type of focus group that occurs with students, hoping that students believe and feel that the quality of the instruction has empowered them to be better students at school. So last year, Mr. Gellin, I did have the pleasure of speaking with students at Fairchild Wheeler. I had the pleasure of speaking with students at Central and some students at Harding about the quality of their learning. And so not just doing program evaluation with numerical data, but getting feedback from the students on the ground. So those would be the different ways of measuring success, from the teachers to the school leaders to the students.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're
Thank-
welcome, sir.
If there are no further questions, I would anyone like to make a motion?
I make a motion that we approve entering into a contract with Pages to Pedagogy Professional Development to support literacy as presented by Dr. Jenkins.
Is there
I
a second?
second it.
Second by Mr. Benahan. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none. Thank you, Ms. Jenkins, on that item. I'll read the next item for the meeting minutes. The next item is discussion and possible approval of Reading Plus to support literacy. Ms. Jenkins.
So the purpose of the Reading Plus program purchase is to support fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension development of middle and high school students, and to support middle and high school students' access to grade level content. So the cost for this service is, well, what happened there? The cost for this service for middle school grades 7 through 12, 8,009 licenses would be $383,927.58. This cost would cover 19 months, which would be the start of December 1st, 2023 until June 30th, 2025, covering 19 months. $34,575 is for professional development services. The funding source for the Reading Plus program is mixed. $296,725 would be paid for by ARP priority grant. Each of the school improvement grant high schools, SIG high schools, would be asked to pay 50% of the license cost, and they have done this previously. PD cost would be paid by the district in Title 4A, Professional Learning for Digital Sources. We currently use Reading Plus in grades 7 through 12. It's been a tool in this case, because as mentioned before, as an intervention to close reading gaps that students have demonstrated, not just during the pandemic, but have been exacerbated due to the pandemic. Reading Plus has been used in the high school, most high schools 2 years, middle school just 1 year. And I will
Dr.
pause.
Jenkins, you're not sharing your presentation. You're sharing us at the moment.
Right, I had stopped because I
Okay,
really developed 3 slides. 1 to define the purpose, 2 to summarize the cost, and 3 to explain the funding source.
got
So
it.
each item, I only did 3 slides.
Okay. All right, I will open up the floor for questions. I'm gonna call off names by the way they appear on my screen. Mr. Sokolovic,
No questions on this one, thank you.
Ms. Casimir,
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Gellin,
No, one question. Would students have access to this throughout the summer as well, or not?
Yes, students have access to Reading Plus throughout the summer, and it was communicated to students at the end of the school year that they do have access during the summer. Additionally, high schools have requested the middle school data to help them with making decisions with course placements for the fall.
Perfect. And this contract would also, if approved, will continue throughout the summer as well. Nothing changed with that.
Nothing changed during the summer.
All right. So no further questions from me.
thank you. Mr. Traber,
Yeah, just to be clear on that, what we're voting on starts 12/1/23, but we currently have this. So we're just continuing effective 12/1/23, what we're currently offering.
Correct. In preparation for opening school year professional development, we needed to purchase PD to be able to have PD in August. So that's one of the reasons it was presented earlier than December 1st.
Okay. Thank you. That's it.
Mr. Benahan,
No question at this moment, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Mr. Macaron,
I have no questions right now. Thank you.
Ms. Baptiste Perez.
No questions.
All right, would someone like to make a motion?
I move that we approve the Reading Plus for grades 7 through 12 at $383,927.58 for 19 months starting December 1st of 23 and ending June 30th of 25.
I second that.
Second by Mr. Benahan. Are there any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Jenkins. And then let's go to our next item. Our next item is discussion and approval of macro learning PD for support literacy, to support literacy.
The purpose of Marco Learning Professional Development and Scoring Service is to provide feedback to teachers and students on students' writing learning. Additionally, Marco Learning provides data on what professional learning is needed to support students' writing learning. So, as an example, we did use Marco Learning in grades 7 through 12. Grade 7 and 8 students were able to submit 3 writing samples this year. Each student is given individual feedback. This feedback is not produced by artificial intelligence. The company Marco Learning actually hires teachers from colleges across the country to read students' writing samples that are uploaded. We provide a rubric, and the grader, the college level grader, actually scores each student sample and then provides an aggregate for each classroom. They also report to the classroom teacher how many hours are saved in scoring as a result of this service. Additionally, at the district level, we are able to look at the data to understand what professional learning is needed in the area of writing. For example, last year, after scoring middle school writing several times, the strength in the writing instruction revolved around students' statements of purpose or their thesis statement, their use of language and vocabulary from text, and their conventions. Areas for growth in students' writing revolved around the organization of their writing, as well as the elaboration of their ideas in writing.
Thank you.
So the cost for middle school writing benchmarks, the online grading and feedback for 3 benchmarks per student for 3,000 students would be $38,250. There would be professional development provided, 5 sessions, and those sessions total $3,000. High school writing benchmarks for grades 9 through 12. There would be 2 benchmarks per student, 2 for the fall semester. One for the fall semester, 1 for the spring semester. We do have a baseline that is added on for September 30th. So there will be 3, but each student, the students in the fall will have 2. So $42,500. High school customized professional development, 5 sessions, $3,000. And consulting and professional development for administrators to help them understand and begin to understand the data analysis, $2,400 for a total of $89,150. And the funding for this service for Marco Learning would be funded through ARP ESSER grant for 1 year. So this would be our final year for using Marco Learning.
All right, I will open it up for questions or comments. I will go based off of who I see on my screen. Mr. Sokolovic. Any questions or comments?
Yes, quick question. Are there gonna be any on-site PDs?
They will be on site in August. They are willing to come on site.
Right, yeah, the question about that is because of, in the contract, you got a cancellation within 15 days resulting forfeiture unless it's an act of God, government regulation, disaster, strikes. Seems a little restrictive.
Mr. Sokolovic, they were quite supportive of PD. And if we did not use all our PD last year, we weren't charged. And I did cancel at the last minute a couple of times due to, like you say, things that happened. They did act with integrity as a company. I just
Thank you.
want you to know that.
That was my only concern.
They are a small company. They're not like as large as like a Reading Plus or a College Board. So small companies often will work with you, but I do respect them and would not do that, often. But it did happen. I believe it was once this year.
Ms. Casimir?
Okay, so pardon my ignorance. So just so I understand, this third piece that you just explained would be feedback from the teachers to the students.
Yes, the teachers have to deliver the feedback provided to the students. The teachers have to deliver that. Let me see. Yes. I wanted to see if I could open an example quickly.
Yeah, if you could do that, that would really help me out. Just if you can, really quick.
I can. I just want to see. Hopefully they didn't clear our dashboard. Okay, they didn't. So I'm going to share.
Okay.
And it always jumps back. So this teacher's gone. She's relocated, so I'll use her writing at Black Rock. So basically, this is a teacher at Black Rock, 8th grade, Quarter 4 writing checkpoint. It provides the class strength, evidence of various themes, and the class growth. 22 students submitted, none skipped. It gave you like a overview of how many children scored a 12, a 13, 14, 15. It gives you the median, the high and low by student. I had mentioned to you statement of purpose, organization, elaboration, language and vocabulary and conventions. And I had mentioned to you organization sometimes is a challenge. For this class, elaboration and evidence was a strength. This school has a larger multilingual learner population, so language and vocabulary may be weaker. So each student gets their own information, their own score. And down below, number of students graded 22. 5 hours of time was saved for this teacher. The grader spent 13 minutes, almost 15 minutes, 13 minutes, 18 seconds. And the turnaround time from upload was 6 days. So here you can see student work. Let's see. And I know Mr. Gellin had asked about the consultant helping. So the consultant would help me from Pages to Pedagogy, look at student work even at the district level, find samples. so teachers can have anchor samples of what quality work would look like. So this is what the student uploaded and what was scored. But just to go back, because I wanted to find a sample, let me go to reports and see if I can find. I'm going to use I'll just click on these. So the teacher gets this class report, but the students get their own individual report about what they did well, their rubric, what they did well, and areas for growth. And as a district, we can download the spreadsheets and have this data by class, by school. So last year, I do know that 74% of the students in middle school pretty much, uploaded something. And I do know that they weren't students like multilingual learners or students receiving services. Some of our students were missing due to chronic absenteeism. So it did give us a chance to analyze data. So there's a download for the district, individual report for every student, and then a class aggregate, class summary report for every teacher. And I will say that based on my feedback from the high school teachers, because some of them were a little resistant in May, but I think they've come around because someone has helped them with scoring and grading that they haven't had before. Now, it's a luxury at the moment, but it also gives them an opportunity to confer with children and for children to get their own feedback as well. Was that example a little helpful or?
Yes, it was a lot helpful. So my last question is, if students are scoring low or what's considered below average after they've gotten the feedback, then you would use one of the other programs that you have presented to us to help them try to get on track, right?
Yes, we're using.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I got it.
one of the things we hope to create is, even if a student is significantly behind, we hope to create significant growth. So one of my favorite classes that I analyzed this year, and it's my favorite because there are a large number of multilingual learners, was Columbus School. Because if a child was on third grade reading level, some of them ended at fifth. Like 74% of that middle school class demonstrated growth, and many of them 2 years worth of growth. And if they did not demonstrate like significant growth, they grew within their vocabulary. So one of the things we want to celebrate is growth, because even in our accountability measures at the state, we get more percentage of points for growth than achievement. So we really want to encourage our students and staff to push for growth and not just to meet the mark, because some of our students meet the mark over and over again, but don't demonstrate growth either. So we want to grow our children and celebrate them. Another way we celebrated is looking at progress across time. So say some of our English language learners only had a few sentences first marking period, then they had a paragraph, and then they had 2 paragraphs. We want to celebrate it even though they may not have done what their peers have done, but we want to be able to look at that type of writing across time and celebrate them as well.
Right, because some growth is better than no growth at all. I get
Correct.
it. All right, thank you. That was
Correct.
excellent. Thank you so much.
No, you are welcome.
Thank you. Mr. Benahan? Any questions or comments? Mr. Benahan? And one more time, Mr. Benahan.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair. No question this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Traber, any questions or comments? Okay, Mr. Macaron, any questions or comments?
No, I have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gellin, any questions or comments? Mr. Gellin? And again, Mr. Gellin. Okay. Ms. Baptiste Perez, any questions or comments?
No questions.
All right, would someone like to make a motion?
I make a motion to enter into a contract as presented by Dr. Jenkins with Macro Learning for professional development to support literacy.
I second that.
Second by Ms. Cashmere. Are there any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you so much, Dr. Jenkins.
Thank you. I appreciate your support.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Dr. Jenkins.
Have a good summer. The next agenda item is discussion possible action for the superintendent draft contract for Dr. Levy David. This qualifies for executive session. We were made aware that our legal representation will not be available until 8 p.m. as to why we have an executive session link for 8 p.m. But would someone like to make a motion to go into executive session for 8 p.m.?
Motion to go into executive session for 8 p.m. to discuss Dr. Levy David's contract.
Second that.
Second by Ms. Cashmere. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. One more item. The next one is discussion and possible action on outlining strategies for the BEA negotiation. This also requires legal representation. We are aware that legal will not be available till 8 p.m. Would someone like to make a motion to that effect, that we will come back at 8 p.m.? Go into executive session at 8 p.m.
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Ms. Second by Mr. Traber. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none. Everyone, we'll see everyone at 8 p.m.
Point of order, real quick,
Sure.
Madam Chair. Just got to state who's going to each executive session.
Yes, Jess was about to do that.
Sorry.
Hold on. Oh, go ahead, Sam. You have a question?
Well, I won't be able to stop the live stream. So how do you want me to do this? Do you want me to post executive session now and just let it go through, or recess now and 8 o'clock change it to executive session?
Well, we're voting to go into, we just voted to go into executive
Right.
session. So it's just a matter of going into it once 8 p.m. because it's not going to be live anyway. Oh, I see
Correct.
what you're
We got to
saying.
keep this.
Yes.
Yes. So that suggestion that you made of leaving it and then just posting it for executive session will work.
Okay, so I'll do that, and I'll just hang on until you're done with the executive session, come back so we can end this.
Yep.
Because the stream, this is solely for the YouTube part of it.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And to add to the executive session, all members that are currently here will be present in executive session. I'll say the names: Mr. Sokolovic, Ms. Casimir, Mr. Benahan, Mr. Traber, Mr. Macaron, Mr. Gellin, Ms. Baptiste Perez, and myself will be present for executive session. If any members do drop off while in executive session, when we come out, I will make mention of that as well. All right. I will see everyone at 8 p.m. Same link, everything. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. It's not the same. Hello?
Yes,
It's
Sam,
not
I'm here.
it's not the same link.
The different link.
Right.
There is a
correct.
different link. Okay.
Yep. So we can end this meeting, Sam, yes?
You can leave it. I'm not going to end it. You can leave it,
Okay,
but I'm going to keep it going until you come back after executive session.
got it. So we, the
So
participants,
after,
Once
yeah,
you come back,
after
you can let
executive
me know.
okay,
session,
thank you.
you're going to come back to this meeting.
Got it. Thank you.
I'm in the right room, right?
No,
Okay, so wait.
no, she created there. If you go back in Teams, there's a meeting called executive session.
Yeah, I thought I
You
just
would join
clicked.
that one.
Okay, thanks. Let me try again.
Hello, Mr. Macaron.
Yes.
You're in the wrong room. If you look in Teams, there's another meeting called executive session. That's the one you want to join.
Okay.
So you would
thank
leave you will leave this one and join that one.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Hello, Mr. Gellin.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Sam from IT. You're in the wrong meeting.
one,
If
go
you
to the
leave
executive
this
one,
one,
copy. Gotcha.
there's another one called executive session.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sam?
I'm here,
yes,
Bobby.
yes.
Okay, we're back. So, just want to make sure, I just want to give a count, make sure everyone's here from the previous meeting before we go back in. We're missing, Mr. Gellin and Mr. Macaron. Did any more people came on? I can't see. No. All right, Miss Arlene, can you send a message for Mr. Macaron and Mr. Gellin to join back if they
Sure.
can?
Is
Thank you.
Mr. Traber gonna join back as well?
Oh, yes, Mr. Traber too.
Okay, I'll send him a message for you. Give me just one moment.
Okay, thank you. And Sam, once she does that, then we can go back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Looks like Mr. Macaron is here.
I can't believe I was able to find this.
Wow, so proud of you.
Okay, just to let everybody know, we are live. I can't mute the system, so just letting you know.
All right, so if everyone could just make sure you stay on mute until the mutants.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's here.
All right, so this is everyone. All right, Sam, let me know when you're ready.
We are ready.
Okay.
Well-
This is,
Sorry, Mr. Traber is still not on.
oh, okay. See if you can try him one more time. Well, we technically have a quorum, right? Yeah, okay, we could start without him, because we have a quorum. So, everyone, we are returning back to the executive, from the executive session to the special meeting. All board members except Mr. Traber are present, in this meeting. The only item that I would like to share on is that, concerning, hold on, lost my agenda. 1 second. Concerning item number 5, discussion and possible action on outlining strategies for BA negotiations. The board has outlined and is aware of the strategies for negotiation. We have selected one board member from our board to represent us. That member is Miss Baptiste Perez, will be representing us. I don't believe there's any further action we need to take on that item. Without further ado, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
So
Moved
moved.
by Mr.
Second.
Stefanovic, second
moved.
by Mr. Benahan. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none. Have a good evening. See you all soon.
Good night, everybody. Great
Good
night.
night.
Good night, Sam.
God bless you all.
Good night.
Good night, all.
Good night.